when golfers reach out for help initially, whether they come through that door or whether I work with a student online, they'll often express similar inconsistencies: contact, direction, don't like the look of the golf swing. And it always comes down to the downswing position. And what happens with most amateur golfers is you get stuck. You don't trigger enough rotation. Because you don't trigger enough rotation, there's no space. So this is why when you hit the golf ball, doesn't matter how hard you try, you always end up looking like you're quite flippy and quite stuck. And golfers will know that, and they'll sort of say to me, well, I need to work on my rotation, etc. And that's true. But it always comes back to the backswing position. And let me sort of explain why. Because what happens with most amateur golfers is they have this tendency in the backswing position to what I would like to say is turn over the leg. And turn over the leg basically means when you're turning, you're moving your upper body too much over towards your right side, as I'm demonstrating here. Now, this is the incorrect move. And what we need to achieve is quite the opposite. The head needs to stay still and we need to allow the pelvis to move more towards the right. See, doing this type of motion triggers what's known as like a left side bend. Now, a left side bend basically means if I sort of position this alignment stick through the center of my head and through the center of my pelvis, once I've established the correct backswing, see my spine's tilted this way. Now, if you can get your spine tilted that way, like this, it's really easy to start the downswing correctly, which I'll come back to in a moment. If you move this way, it's theoretically impossible to start the downswing. And the reason for this is because what should happen momentarily as we start the downswing is that we should maintain an element of left side bend, which basically is the feeling of turning your chest down and over your left leg. See what I'm doing here? Then the pelvis will come back. This will reintroduce the opposite to that, which is known as a right side bend, which is why pros always look like, if they're right-handed, their right shoulder's lower to the ground. So I meet a lot of people that end up trying to emulate this sort of right side bended downswing position. And it's the complete wrong way to go about it, because all you're doing is compounding this type of action with this type of action. You're just going to get really stuck. So the change that you need to make, most definitely, that you don't realize that you need to make, is in your backswing position. And what you really need to work on is the feeling of keeping your head still as you allow the pelvis to move more towards your right side. So that I allow my pelvis to turn towards my right leg as I keep my head still. This is what induces that spine bend. And if I'm in this type of backswing, then as I start the downswing, see the way that I can move my upper body nicely over my lower body momentarily, and then we can move this way. And I promise you, whether it's somebody who reaches out for help online, somebody who comes through that door, we are always working and always starting on this. Once you can get this backswing shape looking better, and you can get yourself looking into this type of backswing, not this type of backswing, this type of backswing, then you can start working on the downswing rotation, and then you're going to be able to start working on your arm release. Work on it, let me know, I'll see you soon.